Second Life is a virtual world, and what that means is that it's a three-dimensional graphical environment accessible through the web that is persistent. It doesn't reset. There's no new game that starts. It just keeps going on and on and on, like life.
Second Life is different than a game because there isn't any goal. And it has the very unusual property that everything in it is changeable and, in fact, is created by the people who are there, not by us, the company. In fact, we didn't build anything in this Second Life. It started out as just a small island with some trees on it. And as residents came in, they began, buying and, developing that space. So literally clearing the trees and building houses on it. They started building the content, like glasses or clothes or tables or chairs or guns or cars. We didn't build any of that. We simply built a technology platform. Think of it as being much like the web. We created the server space and the software running on the servers that would allow you to basically go in there and make web pages, only you're not making web pages, you're making reality.
So it's not lab, it can't actually make it lab.
People inevitably, approach it with a, how could that be kind of a question, how could the virtual world be real? But I think in the years to come we'll realize that the question was more just why not?
You will not, at this point in your lifetime, ever see all of Second Life by any shot. So Second Life is kind of at the place that the internet was at, practically speaking, in, I don't know, like 95 or 96, maybe 95, right? When it was kind of game over in terms of exploring it all, when you realized that the categorical search engines were going to fail.
Second Life is my main income. Anyone can create anything. That's the whole draw for me.
People who have no idea that they are creative come into Second Life and find out that they can make things.
So, Zach, you are the king of magic in Second Life.
My character was going to be a wizard, and I started making spells for him to use.
You're not limited in what you're allowed to do. You can do nearly anything.
I make dresses that are rather difficult to make in physical reality.
Leon set up this question, what is real? Is what's real what's in our minds, or is it what's in the physical world? And kind of arguing for breaking down that binary opposition between real and virtual, and showing this fuzzy area that's very foreign to most people. If you're NSL, you know about it. Everything feels real. But for the general public, they think it's a game.
Registered people that have actually come and got themselves an avatar is at 7 million. So you've definitely seen a massive expansion in the Second Life population.
One of the fastest growing sites on the internet is a 3D world called Second Life.
There's been a massive hype. It's been all through the media, through the newspapers, through the television.
Second Life is not a game. It is a multi-user virtual environment. It doesn't have points or scores. It doesn't have winners or losers. Oh, it has losers.
Second Life now is sort of where the World Wide Web was in about 1994. People are starting to discover it.
Wednesday, a cyber celebrity's death.
Doesn't seem real, does she?
She made herself look like her avatar.
Please join me in giving a warm digital welcome to Bruce B-Dub Willis. Welcome, Bruce.
Hey, how you doing?
People don't just engage in perverse sexual activity in Second Life, but they also engage in forms of artistic expression or commerce.
There are so many big brands that have come into Second Life. Massive multinationals, big companies coming in and experimenting, getting feedback on their products. The question is, can Second Life make this progression to becoming a mass portal in the future? And of course that's unclear.
I think that what we'll look back on now in Second Life will have been the beginning of a proof on that. Things are real because they're there with us and we believe in them. And if they're simulated on a digital computer versus sort of simulated by atoms and molecules, it doesn't make any difference to us.
Residents pay real money to buy land and can earn cash by selling virtual goods. Justin here has built a whole business in this world. His firm in London's East End designs virtual offices and equipment for companies now rushing to establish a presence in Second Life.
People are in there, they're making real livings by buying and selling virtual land and creating product for people so they can adorn their avatars in clothing or performing services. For instance, there's wedding planners in there, there's people who actually do live performance of music in there.
There's no cost of goods and there's very little distribution cost associated with that work. It's almost entirely creative work. So one of the ways the world's going to change as we take control of the atoms or as we use virtual worlds is that you have the ability to essentially convert creative energy directly into money in a way that the real world just has not given us.
My name is Asri Falcone, and I am a content creator within Second Life. I have a housing company, and we create fully furnished homes. So when you come into this home, there is nothing you need. There is nothing you need to buy, extra furniture, nothing. You can just move right on in to your dream home. You build things in Second Life using what they call primitives. Primitive is the basic building block of SL, and they can be cut or twisted or hollowed out to make different shapes. You take those shapes, you put them together like building blocks that you had as a kid, and you can make your table or your hot air balloon or anything that you want. Anything that you can think of, you can actually build. I made my first product my first day online. We were walking around and I saw beautiful gowns that were just gorgeous. And I wanted one so bad. But as a newbie, I had no money. So I decided to make it. And that's pretty much how I make my line. If I want to wear it, I make it. If I want to live in it, I make it. I have a clothing store where people can actually come in and peruse my virtual clothing line.
Hi, hon. Is there anything I can help you find?
Hi, Miss Azari. How are you doing? Well, I'm looking for something that will fit my size because I have difficulty finding things that, you know, stretch properly.
Well, all of my skirts do come modifiable.
Oh, that is wonderful.
So, well, yeah, I actually have, you know, a larger figure on the bottom myself. So, therefore, you know, let's try to find you something.
I've been well into the six-figure income. I'm creating a new line, a whole new existence. It took me a year, but I got it. I decided to brand out each line, meaning my shoe line is a separate brand, my clothing line is a separate brand, my skin line is a separate brand, jewelry, hair, all separate brands. So that way I can more effectively control my copyrights. So I'm making sure that I'm protected. My skin line, which is called Naked, costs around 1,000 lindens, which is approximately, I'd say about $3.50 US. On the other hand, you have my clothing line, which things range anywhere from 800 lindens on down to 50 lindens. When you receive that virtual currency, you can actually sell it back on a virtual money market. In this case, you're exchanging linden dollars to US dollars.
He's a hustler, making mad money, living large in the land of the milk and honey. He got high dates with playboy bunnies, and his looks don't matter if the checks keep coming. They say, Daddy, have to drive a bring around your caddy. Escalade, then let's hit the stores and don't forget Dior, cause I need a new pair of shades. Money talks and conscience walks when you're fulfilling all your freaky fantasies. Billionaires don't have to care about the little people in reality. 'Cause reality is very nice, but no.
Well, I'm Azri Falcone. How you doing? Can I help you guys find anything?
We're just looking. I have a few of your houses. I have the big blue one. I have the ranching style.
Right. Well, we have a couple new ones coming out shortly.
Yeah, I was just showing them this house. Yeah, because I'm debating on what house I want to put up on my land again.
Did you check out the depot?
Yeah, I was looking at that, but I have kids and grandkids.
Oh, Lord.
They all seem to think they need a room.
There are many adoption centers. It's a place where a child can go to be matched with a parent and vice versa. And interestingly, the adoption centers are mostly girls. There are so many complex reasons why people would want to do Second Life as a child.
People can fall in love in Second Life. People can do all kinds of things together in Second Life. And, you know, people were falling in love over love letters in the Victorian era 100 years ago. The idea that that's possible shouldn't be so confusing to people.
Kiss me, you fool.
Oh, Steven. There's little private rooms, too, around. Like, I'd love to check those out. Ooh, check this out.
You want to time your breathing with your movements.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's inhale as you expand. Exhale as you contract. This is, I think we should drop down to our loincloths and
yeah.
You see this, we just build up our state of mind going through this posture for 15 or 20 minutes, and then we jump onto the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome all. Today we come together to celebrate the partnership of Nick and Kira within Second Life. The union of two people is a special thing no matter where, when, or even how it happens. Nick and Kira, though you met each other in an amazing modern way through Second Life, it does not change the essence of commitment. Nick, can you please share with Kira your vows to her?
As we stand hand in hand, gazing into our future, this is the beginning of a new dream. I've been waiting all my life for you, Kira. You complete me.
It's really like a proper wedding because they're taking it seriously. We're taking it seriously. You know, it's quite nerve-wracking. Just don't you just... Oh, I don't know, it's just nice.
You're my friend, my lover, my soulmate, the half which makes me whole. You fill my soul with your song, lifting me to new heights of happiness.
And the words that they used, I was a bit weepy, but yeah, I think it's lovely.
Do you, Kira, take Nick to be your husband?
I do.
Do you, Nick, take Kira to be your wife and partner here in Second Life?
I do.
And by the power of your own love, I now declare Nick and Kira henceforth husband and wife. You may now seal your partnership with a kiss.
It's like a confirmation of their love for each other.
Aww.
Especially hearing their voices as well, you know, you can tell that they mean it.
Yeah.
It's not virtual, they've met each other, they love each other in real life.
Yeah.
And anything that they do on this is just a further sign of their commitment to each other.
Building castles in the sky, just the two of us, you and I, yeah.
When you go on Amazon.com and you're shopping for a digital camera, and you're on that page where you're looking at the digital camera, there's like 100 other people browsing that page right at the same time as you. Statistically, it's got to be true. They're watching the same page. Wouldn't it be nice if you could see them and talk to them? You wouldn't have to, but if you wanted to, think how many times there'd be a question about the product, a question about Amazon itself, fun to be had, just in talking to the people who were browsing the same content you were. The web's technology doesn't intrinsically give us the ability to be present with other people.
We use Second Life for virtual time travel. We recreated Berlin during the 1920s. You can learn a lot about the Weimar Republic era by reliving it.
This is a National Science Foundation educational grant.
The avatar represents who I really feel inside.
Created in real life, this art takes its own personality in Second Life.
Our focus really has been on Second Life just because there's so much fun stuff that we can make.
I had to keep creating. I can't not create.
When I first heard about Second Life, that was the fit for my project because of how immersive it is.
To see it progress from the raw idea to completion is just a fantastic experience.
We were in the middle of the recession and everyone's looking to keep their jobs, and here he is quitting his job. People thought we were crazy when my family heard that he was leaving a 13-year job.
Yeah.
But we were really pretty much confident that this would do fine.
We've been in business since 2005 in Second Life.
Each of us put in $250 each USD to buy ourselves a sim. A sim is as one island. And before we knew it, that rented out and we made profit. We took that profit and turned it over and bought another sim, and another, and another, and another. We start watching TV, sitting back, playing Second Life, working, watching Raymond. It's sort of like real life, except you're playing an avatar, and you start to live in that avatar, your own person. Before we got into the business, we got married in Second Life as well.
I left August of '09, 6 months ago. It's a little bit of a cut from where I was making.
Of course, yeah.
I actually worked for Merrill Lynch, who is now, Bank of America, grossing about over $72,000 a year. I worked as a IT help desk, first an agent, then I was a supervisor, became a manager.
I think we're getting short on the residential lands. Maybe we should think about ordering another sim. Most of our profit is made off of the rent that the tenants pay us to live there.
The way it works is we pay $295 per island, and if you break it up, let's say into 16 pieces, it really roughly comes out to about $17. We charge back $24, $25 to the residents. So there's about $100 that we make. in profit.
For each island.
For each island. So if you figure it out times 150 sims that we have, we're doing pretty well.
Our reputation was client support, 24-hour support, and we stick by it. Last night at 2:30 in the morning, I got a text from one of the sales agents that was online, and one of the clients were looking to expand to buy another sim, paying 6 months in advance. How can we turn something like that down at 2:30 in the morning? We have to respond.
Yep.
We have sales agents, we have admin worker, we have so many people helping us. They're paid 10% of the sale price that they sell on the lands.
Which is pretty good.
Which is good.
In an average day, they could be easily make about $50.
For the most part, I think the recession really didn't impact us too much as far as putting a damper on the business. In fact, I think it's helped us. A lot of people lost their jobs. And they're home, and they're playing Second Life. They're home, they're not working.
Our business will continue to grow. We're going to be continually working 14 hours a day to, growth, to make an expansion on our business.
We have a band in Second Life, and it's called Engramma. We play kind of post-rock music. Aqua plays drums and she sings, and I play the guitar and I sing. We have no backing tracks, it's all live. Pupito is always with a cigar that has blue smoke.
Laqua always has the drumsticks in her hands.
We prefer to play the original songs we have. In fact, when we improvise in Second Life, we sometimes even create new songs.
It totally depends on the mood of the crowd. We live out in this village in the mountain, and we have everything we need to play in Second Life. The electronic drums, electric guitar, the microphones, everything plugs into the mixer, and we stream live in Second Life. Every song has to be unique. That's why we started to build our own stages, our own instruments.
Also, people are expecting that. Our fans, our audience.
We are making music that fits with the images.
And that's Engramma.
For us, this is the same, like going to Barcelona to play a gig. Probably we get a bigger audience in Second Life.
In Barcelona, you won't find people from Japan, from Australia. In Second Life, we have fans from many countries, from all over the world.
There is one magic thing in Second Life when people send us messages like, "Hey guys, I heard Engramma music at the Colorado Canyon on a trip."
People record our Second Life shows and then they listen on their iPods.
They share with us how our music makes them feel.
We live with Second Life. We eat with Second Life.
I think Second Life is a window into the world. We earn money in Second Life by selling the things we make at our own store, which is called Yoni.
We sell houses, furniture, we sell music instruments and stages, some clothes.
We also charge a fee when we play live with Engramma.
Sometimes we find a place that we really like and we ask if they want an Engramma concert, and of course we don't ask money for that.
When we're playing in Second Life, I look at the screen, I get really excited because those avatars are real people, and sometimes I read the chat when I play drums. I want to see what the audience says, and when I read nice words, it feels great.
It's real. I'm looking at it, no matter if it's a computer or if it's my window. Who says what is real and what is not real?
Alice Krieger has multiple sclerosis. As Gentle Heron, Krieger goes anywhere, including the virtual campus for the CU School of Nursing on the Anschutz campus. Today's gathering features Colorado health experts and Coloradans with disabilities. For the deaf, Gentle Heron types conversations. This avatar, Instructor Snoodle, is nursing school professor Diane Skiba. She estimates about 100 nursing students a year receive virtual training.
The virtual experience allows them to practice without doing any harm.
But the first virtual world that we really know of was created in 1970 by this man, Myron Kruger. Early virtual world called Video Place, and he tried to imagine what a virtual world might look like back in 1970, and this was his picture. And look at how important on the right here to people inside a Second Life. Look how important bodies are from the very beginning. The first thing he imagines is these people running around. And if I step back now to show you the audience and all of us sitting here in Second Life, you know, things are a little more complicated than that earlier picture is now, right? But he sort of got some of the basic ideas, even that you see, you know, in this kind of situation now, where I'm sitting in this room with all of these people with these avatar bodies. They could be anywhere in the physical world. They could be anyone. We have no idea who they are unless we get to know them. So here, someone's getting ready to teleport, which is something you do now in Second Life, 25 years later.
Where am I? And who in the heck are you?
Note that they're already using the word avatar way back then.
And with the cooperation of a huge mainframe computer in Virginia. Now, using their modems and Commodore computers, people from Westport to Walla Walla can join Quantum Link and Lucasfilm on an electronic journey.
It's an island, just like my one in Second Life.
One that leads to Habitat, where thousands of avatars, each controlled by a different human, can converge to shape an imaginary society. Dweller here is an avatar controlled by Luann Smith from Beverly Hills, here on a quest for
with her
Hyde magic.
1980s hair.
And Hyde magic is just what she's found.
The platform is a blank canvas. You have to fill it in with the paint of your choice. You have to build the environment based upon, you know, what it is that compels you, that excites you, that motivates you. I'm very fortunate in that Second Life afforded me the ability to completely remodel my home, to build a home office so that I have all the conveniences at my fingertips. I look out over my pool. I don't punch a time card. I don't have a boss standing over me saying, "Get this done now."
Kevin has made millions of dollars as a Second Life animator. He uses motion capture technology to create lifelike animations.
Years ago now, our dad died with Parkinson's, and my mom had been his caregiver. It was exactly a year later that she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. My mom is one of the wisest and most inspirational and most resilient women that I have met. There's not many 86-year-olds that come into Second Life. She's in there, you know, and what we had observed is that the more time she spent in Second Life, the younger she seemed to become in real life.
My name in Second Life is Fran Serenade.
Second Life gave the emotional experience back to her.
I have been in World 4 years, just like my daughter.
My name in Second Life is Barbie Alchemy. I am the founder of Creations for Parkinson's. I wanted to recreate environments free of stress. We have horseback riding, we have ice skating, people go dancing.
There's a lack of dopamine that comes into your brain when you have Parkinson's. So these activities, they're great for my condition because they're fun.
Play in the water. People dive underwater and become mermaids and explore through beautiful caves and caverns.
As a mermaid, it is great to be able to use my muscles like that.
The thing that really grabbed me was that ability to create as you did as a child. Create in your mind and then it could become your reality. It changes who we are from the inside out. There are many places places on our island where people can get together and exchange ideas and talk about their issues in private or more publicly as they wish. This is a wonderful way for people to meet with friends and have the social connections that they may be missing in real life due to geographical isolation. Sometimes people can be terribly shy, but in here, they open up for some reason. Meeting here with our avatar is a totally freeing experience. There is a deeper level of connection. We really let down our mask and we are authentically ourselves. Who we are will get expressed in our avatar.
When I was DJing in real life prior to here, I was in Baltimore working for a restaurant corporation and I was the marketing director and entertainment director. And I had to come in every day and do the marketing for 7 different restaurants and a catering company. Then I found Second Life, and I'm reaching the world suddenly. From 2006 to the beginning of 2007, I was spending every second that I could while I wasn't working full-time, DJing as much as I could, trying to reach everybody that I could. And in 2006, I was one of the only DJs around in Second Life. There were, I guess you would say, quote-unquote, headhunters that started to come in, and after the show, they were like, hey, I like your stuff. You ever want to come over to our club and DJ? And he paid me $3,000 Linden dollars, which amounts to $15, $20 for an hour. I got tipped at the same time. You know, because I did that, it snapped, and the light bulb came up on my head like, hey, if I can do this a lot more for a lot of different people. By 2007, I was like, I don't have enough time for Second Life if I'm going to keep this real job. So I just sort of told him, hey, I need to quit my real life job, and I went full-fledged into Second Life. Had no idea if I was going to make any money or I was going to be tossed out on the street, and it just snowballed. It took off. There were real-life corporations asking me to do promotional events for them. I worked for Intel. I worked for AMD. I worked for Electrolux for a little bit. There was CSI that came in World. The most that I've gotten paid is $150 US to do a 2-hour promotional event for a real-life company. And it's steamrolled into 2010, where I'm constantly being asked for work. My regular schedule is keeping it as irregular as possible. I wake up in the morning, I'm in my pajamas, and I hop to a club, and I'm DJing at 8 o'clock in the morning to Australians and the Japanese. You know, noon to 3 o'clock, then the Europeans are off of work at home, and it's nighttime for them, and they have the full-on club experience for them. And then at evening, my time, I can play for the Americans.
The idea of going to New York and sitting together in an office building as a way of doing work, there's no way that idea's got more than a few years to live. Because it's too simple. All you need is a laptop. You get this 3D voice. You don't have to travel. You can integrate people from all over the world in your company meetings. Yes, you can show PowerPoint slides if you want to while you're at the meeting.
The power behind a world like Second Life is that sense of togetherness. Virtual worlds have the potential to fill the wide gap between face-to-face interaction, which is the richest form of communication you can experience, and disembodied forms such as email, text instant message, or even the telephone.
You told me earlier that you're computer challenged, but somehow you're able to use a virtual currency from an online game to help real children in Kenya live better lives. That's amazing.
Well, I figured if these avatars can buy hair and shoes to the tune of $500 million US, they can also pay for a couple of kids to go to school and eat.
I think we have to explain this in more detail. Got 5 minutes?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's go.
My name in Second Life is Breek Topaz. We raise funds to feed children in Kenya. Second Life is just a very small part, but it's grown immensely. The virtual club is called the Lavender Field, and these musicians perform there for free. They give their tips to feed a smile. What you got going on over there? It doesn't matter where they are, in their own home studios, or in their garage, or in their living room. I was left to my own device. I don't make a judgment on musical style. If a musician can bring his or her fans to donate meals for these children, I will ask them to come perform at the Lavender Field.
Until the day that is the day that I know more. Did you know the true love passed for nothing?
Thanks for coming. We are so fortunate to have food in our cupboards. These kids don't have that. This is my song, The Test.
The Linden dollar is real money. 30 cents, which is 100 lindens, pays for a warm meal for a child. And that child is able to eat that day because you paid 30 cents.
How hard could it be?
The people behind the avatars are the people with the hearts who really are caring. When you have somebody like Sam Quenda, who is an absolutely fantastic singer, when she comes, we have 800 meals paid for within 1 hour.
He imagines a world in which books were invented after video games and the World Wide Web. Kids everywhere are starting to read these newfangled books, and teachers and parents are concerned. He imagines they might say something like this. Perhaps the most dangerous property of these books is the fact that they follow a fixed linear path. You can't control their narratives in any fashion. You simply sit back and have the story dictated to you. For those of us raised on interactive narratives, this property may seem astonishing. Why would anyone want to embark on an adventure utterly choreographed by another person?
To a certain extent, the virtual world must contain some sort of danger and risk and possibility of pain or loss to be interesting. I don't think that we can create worlds of any kind that are interesting without them also being, at least somewhat dangerous. That said, the virtual world is, at a basic level, a safer place than the real world. We do not have the ability in the virtual world to physically harm each other. And that is a very powerful change that I think brings us closer to our aspiration about what it is to be human.